Adelaide United were last season's big improvers, but are yet to post a win this time round. Today they take on last season's Wooden Spooners, but the New Look Jets are stirring things up. This is Adelaide United hosting the Newcastle Jets round 4 of the W League. Hello and welcome for the first time in our TV broadcast to Adelaide Shores. I'm Stephanie Brantz. Great to have you with us. Well, Adelaide were, of course, last season's surprise packets, but they're yet to post a win this time round. Newcastle, well, they almost went from the outhouse to the penthouse in week 1 with a win over the reigning champions. And since then, they've, of course, had successive losses, which has brought them back to the pack, and they sit just above today's opposition, which makes for very interesting viewing. Now, of course, the round has already kicked off in Canberra yesterday. And 4th and 5th on the table went head-to-head when Brisbane Roar came to town, finished with a 2-0 win to last season's minor premier. And with 3 matches still to be completed, the table now looks like this. Sydney FC and Perth are the only side still with a perfect record. Canberra in second, though Melbourne Victory could join them there with a win today. They're followed by Brisbane, Newcastle, and then Adelaide and Western Sydney, who are both chasing their first 3 points today. Well, Perth and Sydney still with unblemished records, but Sarah Walsh, I know you've been watching the season unfold with interest, and you just get the feeling that any one side could pounce at any moment, particularly the 2 dark horses we've got here today.
Absolutely, Steph. I think Newcastle especially are coming down to Adelaide today to really take the 3 points. And in fairness, they actually should be favourites going into this match today, which is actually a huge contrast to last year's season. So, but in order to do that, they need to stay in touch with the top 4. But Adelaide really need the 3 points today. If they don't, they're going to be left behind, and it'll be really hard for them mathematically to even get in the top 4. So,
well, Ross Aloisi's done such wonderful things with this side and so much success last season. They've had a tough draw to start their season, but they'd have to fancy their chances today.
They would, definitely. They've got a very strong side, and they've been actually quite unfortunate with a few of their matches in terms of results. They have an extremely strong midfield, very experienced with Pedersen, Woods and Holmes there, and Tian Powell's been very good up top, and obviously the 2 bookends which you discuss each week, Barbieri and Christy Moore, who will definitely add that experience.
Yeah, well, she might not be the youngest on the team, but plenty of energy with Captain Christy Moore. She caught up with Aaron Carney to talk about the challenging start to the season.
It certainly does. I mean, we've had a tough start. We've had 3 tough games and unfortunately no points yet. We've played some really good football and we've got a great plan that we're trying to achieve. We just haven't quite got there yet, but there's only a few tweaks and then we can feel the points coming.
How do you go about defeating this much improved Newcastle Jets side today?
They definitely are much improved, and I think every team is this year in the W League. It's grown as every year, so we just need to stick to the plan that we've got and what we've been working on all week, and then hopefully it's going to come off for us today. But obviously they are a great side with some great players, so we need to be at our best.
Yeah, well, Newcastle finished with a solitary point last season. They've already got 3 this season, no doubt due, Walshy, to those clever off-season signings by Peter McGuinness.
Yeah, they've picked up 3 great internationals again, but for me, Van Egmond really solid in the midfield, and I think she'll lead from the front, playing that 10. She likes to get in behind the defence and obviously switching in with Tara Andrews. But look, this is a really, really strong side. When you look across the other teams across the league, this is one of the strongest sides on paper. So really, if they get things, clicking, they'll be very hard to stop.
Yeah, there's no question that the return of Matilda Emily Van Egmond is a huge boost for the Jets. She also spoke to Aaron Carney about how important those 3 points are today.
Very big opportunity for us. Obviously looking to come out here and get the 3 points, and not really settle for anything less.
What have you improved upon in the last couple of weeks? You've been there and thereabouts.
I think mainly it's just our execution in the last third that we really just need to get going. We've had opportunities and it's just been the execution that's been letting us down. But, we've played some very quality sides in the early stages of this league, and today presents a very good opportunity for us to take all 3 points.
Well, the only point Newcastle got last season was a draw with the Lady Reds, and you can bet that neither side plans on sharing the spoils today. Let's get this one underway, and with Peter Wilkins absent this week, it's a warm welcome back to the W League, to Aaron Carney in commentary with Sarah Walsh.
Thank you, Steph. Warm, literally and figuratively. A perfect long weekend Sunday here in Adelaide at the Adelaide Shores Football Centre. And hard to imagine better conditions with just a nice cool breeze coming off the water and barely a cloud in the sky. Our officials here this afternoon, your referee is Kelly Jones. Her assistants are Madison Kelly and Kyle Bartlett. And it will be the Newcastle Jets who will have first use of it this afternoon. Emily Van Egmond standing over the ball with Tara Andrews. And they immediately, running into the teeth of the breeze, set it off to the left. Reynolds, back for Spina. Long ball forward. Andrews in a foot race, but Hawthorn was there to get the ball over the sideline. Sarah Walsh, this is a lovely occasion for a game of football.
Absolutely gorgeous here. A little bit windy, as you mentioned, but also probably good to mention we're on some FIFA 2-star, FIFA 2-star turf the girls are playing on, which will be similar to the one that they play at the World Cup next year in Canada. So it'll be interesting to see how the game plays out in terms of, I guess, the way the ball stays true. But two really good teams today. Newcastle will be excellent to see how they play and come out and approach the game, given that, I guess it's fair to say they're considered favourites. They haven't been entered a game with that tag yet, so it'll be good to see.
They have possession at the moment. Yeomandale, ex-Canberra, now calling Newcastle home and by all accounts enjoying it. Throw for Yanella. Real mix of youth and experience in these two teams. Some players that have, well, in some cases, you add a couple together, they've got 200 or 300 games of experience. Then there are others who are in their first handful. Again, Newcastle is equal to it. An early touch for Van Egmond. She's in behind, off and running. Sending it down the left, just overhit that slightly. Dobson couldn't get there, but offers warm applause. And it's weird this early in the season to be talking about the importance, but because it is a short season in the W League, because both of these sides are much improved and fancy their chances this year, 3 points today is critical. Oh,
it's really crucial. And if you look back at the last couple of years, I think it's fair to say that these have been two of the teams that have been, I guess, left down the bottom of the ladder. So there's a bit of pride on the line in terms of who comes away with the 3 points today.
Dobson hit hard from behind, so the first free kick of the match will go to the Newcastle Jets. 45 degrees on the left, and it is into an inconsistent but at times quite strong breeze. Get confirmation of that from Steph Brantz in a moment. But it is going to be Van Egmond delivering with the right foot dangerously. Barbieri comes and claims. And a bit of a collision there. And it looks like Hayley Crawford, back from retirement, went down, but she's up and at him again. Let's go to Steph. Can you confirm the warmth and the breeze, Steph?
Yes, I can confirm both of them, Aaron. It's a beautiful day, about 24 degrees and very bright sunshine, as you can see on your screen. Right to left for our viewers is the breeze and heading towards the far corner post, diagonally across the pitch. So an advantage if they can use it correctly for Adelaide United at the moment. And as you mentioned, the pitch looks like a carpet because it is, and it's absolutely beautiful. We're going to have a wonderful afternoon here.
You've both referenced it already. It is, for want of a better term, an astroturf. It's an artificial turf, but one that is recognised at a professional standard.
Yeah, to my knowledge, there's two types of turf. There's the FIFA 1-star and FIFA 2-star, and World Cups can be played on a FIFA 2. And I guess with regards to that, this is the best turf that we have in Australia at the moment, FIFA 2-star.
A defensive mistake from the Newcastle Jets and an opportunity for the Reds. Condon thought about pulling the trigger, now tries to find more, can't. And they recover the situation courtesy of Amber Nielsen. Ball was put over the sideline, but that's the sort of cheap mistake that will cost you dearly. And both of these sides have made a point that finishing opportunities is the difference between them being where they are on the ladder and where they want to be on the ladder. So an opportunity for the Lady Reds, Adelaide United. It'll be Hodgson, the second throw for Powell. Tried to sweep it in, and that one has come off. Powell, I fancy, in the end. So relief for the Newcastle Jets. Newcastle Jets have only made the final once. In many ways, these two teams have had some of the poorest seasons in the W League, and both clubs have worked extremely hard to get their credibility back. So we see the Jets move crisply. Yeoman Dale on a 30 or 40 metre run. Who can she link up with? Tries to go inside. There's targets infield. Perhaps one touch too many. Perhaps some credit to Yanella and the defence there as well for Adelaide.
Good little run by Yamandale there. She's playing in, I guess, a foreign position in terms of where she initially started her career. She's playing it right back, but she used to start up top with Canberra. And look, she's made the move to Newcastle to be able to put her hand up for selection for the World Cup next year. I think it's a really good move. She's going to get much more game time here, and she's looking good early in this game.
To say both her and Ashley Spina, I'm led to believe, are really enjoying their new life and their new start in Newcastle. Speaking of incisive runs, here goes Moore on a long one down the left. Needs support. Gets it from Yanella. Under heavy attention. And that's somewhat unfortunate for the Reds. The attempted clearance coming in from Georgia Yeoman-Dale. Took the deflection. It will be a goal kick for Claire Colo in the all-pink. And both of these sides not really having an early opportunity, but certainly showing the... I was talking to Christy Moore before, and she described this turf as true but unforgiving, which says the ball goes where you put it, but it is rather hard on the body. And we're seeing already the passes are sticking, and there's another one. Condon taking on two defenders before finding Yanella. Yanella tried to work it onto the right, and eventually Yeoman-Dale over the sideline. Certainly, these are two sides, we'll say, having identified execution as a problem, appear willing to go at each other.
See Ross Aloisi here on camera. He's been really excellent for this club. He's really, I guess, brought a sense of professionalism to the team, and I know the girls love playing underneath him, and he's really just brought the best out of especially some of the players here. Melissa Barbieri has really just been reinvigorated here. She's excellent, and it'd be great to watch her today. We all know she's after another World Cup selection.
She's in incredible nick. Great condition. Here's the first corner in at the near post. Well dealt with by Yeoman-Dale. But still an opportunity. Oh, shot across the face of goal. For a moment, I thought that breeze might catch it and push it inside the far post. Instead, it passes harmlessly over the sideline. But the Jets just feeling this breeze is something that's quite challenging to work through.
Well, you can see how Adelaide, if they want to use it to their advantage, they're probably going to have to deliver from right to left of their goal mouth, because if it does pick up the ball, then it goes flying. Well, she just want to pick on something you said about Ross Aloisi. The other great thing he's done with this side, as well as bringing players like Bubs and Christy Moore to the fore, the youngsters. He's got what I believe to be a 3-year plan, and he wants to develop this side, and he's doing such great things with them.
Yeah, and I think it was a matter of when you have discussions with him, sometimes a little bit difficult to get some of the, I guess, the Matildas or fringe Matildas or even internationals out here. And he's actually selected some really good ones in terms of Lisa Marie Woods and Christy Moore. But he really is just going to have to build from the pool of players that they have here in Adelaide.
Yeah, and there's a great pool because those youngsters are amazing NTC players. Dylan Holmes is the NTC Player of the Year. And she's made it into the first team within about 5 months. And I'm really disappointed we're missing Alexandra Chidiak, who's away with the under-17s today, because, Walshy, you have been plugging her for 5 weeks.
I know, I was very excited, but more excited to hear that she's over at the AFC Under-16 Championships and playing
16s,
quite
I beg your
well.
pardon.
Yeah, and I believe she played the full game against Vietnam, where they won 6-0, which is excellent under Ante Juric. And apparently I'm hearing that if the majority of the Adelaide United squad members go to the under-20s, the under-19s tournament coming up, they'll be missing 7 to 8 players, which is excellent, but it's not great
not
for
for Ross.
not for his W League team, but he understands the importance of having those players play for the youth national teams.
To articulate the point that both of you are making, as Yanella won't have the legs to run down that with the breeze behind the ball. I haven't 100% checked this, but it is my understanding that there is only one player in her 20s in this Adelaide side. Everyone is either under 20 or over 30, and it's only Powell, who's in her early 20s, who fits that description. But it shows the the philosophy of bringing in experienced players who've been there to bring up what's been described as, well, the best junior lineup in a decade to come out of South Australia.
Yeah, it's so exciting, and the way that they, I guess those young players held themselves at NTC championships. It's just excellent to see that Adelaide are starting to produce young players that could potentially be Matildas one day, which is, and Ross has he's actually said there are a couple of players in that lineup that you wouldn't be surprised if they go on to play for the national team.
Here's one who's done that, Van Egmond putting pressure on Yanella, and now Huster involved as well. The veteran Nielsen goes central. Salem shifts it to the left. Crisp ball movement, true ball movement. Dangerously played in. Barbieri comes, doesn't claim, ball is loose, and the referee was ready to get involved, but it wasn't necessary. Barbieri recovered.
Yeah, I guess she's come out here, and when we see it in the replay, possibly wasn't sure of actually taking the ball. Pretty lucky to receive the ball back there. Very lucky to not concede there.
I think the breeze is a huge factor. I think she thought that ball was coming to her more than it was. It held up and she got tangled up with the attackers. So it may be an influential player out there over the course of this afternoon. Holtham. Physio for Nottingham Forest FC. They get it forward. Condon can't get control. Illegally fouled. Although I think that's Huster down for the Jets. No, it's Spina.
We'll see in the replay here. Oh,
gee.
It's actually quite scary because I know that she's coming off a knee reconstruction.
She's up, but that's one of those awkward ones where the foot planted.
No,
she's not up.
Down. This is not good. Oh, it was nothing in it as well.
Just...
I don't actually want to watch it again.
Not as Peter McGuinness by the looks of it.
He's...
So it's not looking like it's structural damage, Dr. Walsh, but...
Say it louder. I'm not sure she can hear you.
It's absolutely terrible to see a player that's coming back from a knee reconstruction go down like
She's
that.
walking it out.
She's moving a bit better, yeah. So, Walsh, you're a doctor and a groundskeeper and a commentator and a Matilda.
You're aware of
you got everything.
So much talent. She's going to the sideline.
It's just never good to see that.
Meantime, again, the breeze made that ball from Woods just a little too direct. She tried to hit under it to hang it up. Spina's down. She's really... Her knee and her mind are telling her two different things at the moment. She's determined to push on, but the knee just isn't cooperating. I mentioned ex-Brisbane Roar, really settled well into Newcastle. It's an opportunity for Andrews. Defensive mistake, and then Huster in for Van Egmond. Nice header on. Dubson straight back for Van Egmond. Straight back into the mix. Player down, and no whistle.
Well defended by Hodgson. Riley Dobson's been excellent this season. She's really, I guess, really starting to get smarts about her game in terms of making her runs in behind the defence, working off defenders' shoulders. She's been excellent.
Reynolds with the throw. Van Egmond in heavy traffic. Needs a target. Hit Huster hard. Crisp ball movement again. Yeomandale. Inside Condon. Ooh, Woods comes and crunches her.
It's a clear free kick. Lisa Marie Woods questioning the ref on this decision, but easy free kick there.
I can tell you we're about to see a substitution because Ashley Spinner will not be coming back on, and Cassidy Davis is coming to the game possibly much earlier, or definitely much earlier than Peter McGuinness would have preferred.
Very disappointing.
Terrible to hear.
We don't know if it's the same knee or not.
No, I'm not sure.
No.
About to go and check for you guys.
Thank you.
Thanks.
Van Egmond will take this free kick. The breeze will take it away from Barbieri and to the left, if anything. Player down in the D as the hustle and bustle goes on there. Van Egmond hangs it up there. Barbieri comes and claims. fairly challenging ball, but Barbieri was equal to it.
It was a great ball whipped in, and especially Melissa in that. Melissa Barbieri has the sun in her eyes there, so that's a dangerous ball by any means.
The Jets are turned around quickly, and Powell is in behind. Needs to weigh the cross at the near post. Good save, Colo. I fancy that may have been going in. Certainly a mishandle could have palmed it inside the near post.
Oh, great little run there from Lisa Marie Woods, and she's found Tian Powell. Tian Powell had Christy Moore on the back post free, and she couldn't manage to get the ball over and clear the defence.
Here they go again, though, the Reds. Holmes forward for Moore, allows it to run. Powell didn't see that on, and the defence comes just in time. Cassidy's first touch is a critical intervention.
Would have been a little bit of miscommunication there between the keeper and Cassidy.
Claire Colo was playing in the emerging Jets team only a few weeks ago, and Newcastle covers northern New South Wales. She's from Port Macquarie, a good 3.5 hours north of Newcastle, a development player who's been called on to accelerate her career and did well there. Here's Moore. Can't get to the ball first. Busy in midfield. There must be space somewhere. Yanella intercepts. Condon. And a through ball. The offside flag is up. Powell hit it. It sizzled over the top of the bar. But she was only allowed to pull the trigger because they'd seen the flag on the far side.
We'll get to see it was a great little ball, and yeah, she's easily offside there.
Meantime, the Route 1 ball. Some pressure on Hodgson. 11 on 11. Dobson on Hodgson. The ball will be a Newcastle Jets throw, just on halfway. Talking about youth and experience, these two teams have that in common. There's a few international connections as well, as there are in a lot of the W League teams. 3 US players for the Newcastle Jets, and 2 or 3 players who've played in the US in the last off-season. There they go again. 2 11s on each other. No.
These are your typical textbook strikers foul.
Yes. Rather agricultural. And opportunity. It does seem like the fast break, the crisp movement is where the goal is coming from, rather than any considered build-up at the moment.
Well, I think out of the two teams, you would say that Adelaide's probably had the best chances, and I feel like Newcastle Jets haven't found their rhythm yet. They have a very strong midfield. They really haven't been able to put their foot on the ball.
You would expect that Andrews and Van Egmond may have had more touches by the 18th minute mark. Here's another dangerous ball in from Adelaide. Condon couldn't get on the end of it, and they will get the throw. About 10 metres out. They would like to convert this breeze into an advantage, because I certainly think it is a goal advantage breeze. Powell made a lead. Now she's involved. Cross in is dealt with. Van Egmond skies it. Andrews trying to get a touch on it, but the Reds will control and look for Condon. She couldn't get there. Huster on the deck, but it's read by Pedersen with some room to move. Moore, through ball. Again, they want the offside flag. Again, they get the offside flag. Lovely ball movement, though. There's something on here.
Excellent little run in behind from Condon here, and Christy Moore's held it up just enough to be able to slide it in. And as you can see, I'm not exactly sure who it was. It was Yamandal who's actually rushed forward and obviously had Condon come offside, but really probably wouldn't want to be rushing in like that.
Lovely vision from Moore, holding it up and then turning it and weighting it quite beautifully. Here she is again. Nielsen, though, will clean up the header. Reynolds. Dobson. Taking on defenders. Beating one. Hits it to open space. tough ball for Huster. There's slight miscommunication there as to who was going to pick it up in midfield. Salem did, but she hadn't quite considered what happened next. Jets will be looking to box them in here. Adelaide will appreciate some space. That's a little push in the back on Powell. These really do feel like two teams who, I don't want to overstate it, but in many ways this could be a season-defining game. The Jets pick up another 3 here, and they're right in the mix for the top 4. Adelaide pick up 3 here, and they continue to be there and thereabouts. If Adelaide come away from a team they would like to beat at home, they would perhaps even expect to beat at home, with nothing, that could put a major dent in their season, and you feel it in both these sides, don't you?
You do, and it's a bit of an arm wrestle at the moment, but for me, I think Newcastle Jets haven't really found Emily Van Egmond, who we see on the ball here.
And she just tries a little dink in behind. It's a little direct, and Barbieri can take it on the chest.
Adelaide have been defending quite well, and we see Peterson on the...
As we say that, there's a mistake. Andrews lays it back. Van Egmond in the vicinity. Back for Andrews. Checks onto the left foot, takes a shot, and critically intercepted. Now Salem tries to go through traffic and can't, and the Jets might have troops committed forward here. Condon collects it with a flat line of defence in front of her. A lead from Powell. Condon to the top of the D. Will she pull the trigger? In for Powell. Colo comes, and it's just pushed to the left. Moore in the end got the final touch. The flag was up in the end. It wouldn't have counted, but counter-attack is exactly what we saw.
This play here is actually typified. Oh, we're up the other end here. Great pulled back on a left peg there for Tara Andrews. We'll get to see the other replay here. Again, another slip-in ball. They've been beating Newcastle in behind today, and it really typifies that play there, Adelaide's season so far. Just not being able to finally, I guess, execute it in the final third.
Yeah, Moore said it repeatedly, and she had the opportunity then. Here's Dobson for the Jets, been busy on the left. Salem works onto the right, shoots, and Barbieri saves. Full length to the left, gets up, gives it the shout. Great shot, great save.
It was an excellent shot there. She's connected with it perfectly, Salem, and that was actually a lot more difficult than this replay shows. It had a lot of spin on the winds, actually picked it up. Do you see that, Steph?
Absolutely. Bubs is in the form of her life as far as I'm concerned. She's outstanding at the moment, so fit, and I don't even know if you could pick that up on my microphone, but she's definitely controlling this team from the back.
She is nothing if not wholehearted. Won the Golden Gloves last season. Seems like she's been around for 1,000 years. She'll hate me for saying it, but you're right, Steph. She's never been in better shape.
But renewed vigour. It's absolutely amazing the way she's come back, and I think the agreement between her and Rossford to come to Adelaide just gave her this new lease of life, and of course she's had to make lifestyle changes with a new child, and it's just done wonders for her.
Yeah, she's made plenty of sacrifices. She actually isn't living in Adelaide. She commutes.
Yeah, lots of family support as well for young Holly to make it happen, and there is a lot of sacrifice just to be out here today. Here's Condon. And another one of those incisive runs, not a first of the afternoon. That time, Yeoman Dale read it well. Salem is there under big pressure as they double down on her. And Yeoman Dale makes herself available again. Decides the best route forward is to take it yourself. Huster. Nice idea. Thinked back in. Couldn't find the mark, and they're a little skinny. Huster needs to get back. Crawford searching forward. Pedersen is back there. Another relatively new mum. Yeah, I believe so.
Oh, Peterson. Yeah.
And here is Van Egmond.
Apparently, was it 4 months ago?
Yeah,
apparently.
I think so.
Excellent to see her back on the park.
Again, another astonishing effort to be playing at this level after just a few months. Now, Reynolds. Nice turn. Dobson. Be a Newcastle Jets throw. This is willing and open. Sorry, Steph.
Certainly is. Sorry, Aaron. I was just going to say, as the ball goes out in front of the Newcastle bench, Ashley Spinner obviously not wanting to say a huge amount about her knee, but confirmed with a nod that it is not the one she has surgery on, but she's clearly very unhappy to be off already, which is completely understandable.
I don't know whether that's better or worse. That it's not the same. Here's Huster. Forward for Andrews, back for Huster. Pressure on the defence. Moore will bring it to ground. Ooh, Nielsen in from behind, got all ball. Van Egmond shot! And another great save from Barbieri. This time down low to the right. What a strike from Van Egmond. What a save from Barbieri.
What an absolutely gorgeous strike here we'll see. I thought she actually had a better option to her left. Amber Nielsen had made a good little run in behind the defence, but that shot had some power on it. And then the save from Melissa Barbieri.
Salem will take the corner. Barbieri already had 2 top saves to make. Van Egmond has signalled how dangerous she is from a long way out. This one will hang up in the D. Played back in. Dobson. Get it out, says Barbieri. Get it out, they did.
I think you can hear that a few suburbs away, can't you?
Yes, the Adelaide Hills are in the distance, and I think it's echoing off them. So the Jets they've worked their way back into this in the last 5 or 10 after enduring a bit at the other end. They're starting to find, in particular, those midfielders that you mentioned, Walshy. And Riley Dobson has been critical. Here's Huster trying a cute little ball in behind. A lot of red shirts there, though. Reynolds will let it run.
Riley Dobson, when she picks up the ball out there and runs at players with speed, she's very hard to stop, and she's found a lot of joy out on the left so far. Yeah,
we see her incredible pace, and we noticed that last season as well, as Van Egmond goes back to the keeper to restart the play from the back. Christy Moore is getting a lot of space down this right flank, the far side, on camera, and I think that with a bit of experience they might find her.
Condon thought she was going one-on-one with the keeper for a moment. Instead, she's in a pitch battle. Will win the throw.
I agree with you, Steph. She's such a smart striker. She's always, I guess she creates that space. So the way that she plays off the defender's shoulder, and she always knows, well, she's, as you can see now, she's actually putting the 2 central defenders in 2 minds standing in between them.
Woods thought about picking her out too instead. Keeps it on the carpet. It's central.
Ross is calling for them to use this side, and just a bit too heavy on that pass there. But I wonder whether, and Walshy and Aaron, you could say better than I, surely, that I think they're putting a few too many passes on the ball. They're taking a few too many touches. Adelaide, that is.
Yeah, I wouldn't disagree. It's because all of the joy has come from keeping it as open as possible, and particularly running at defenders. Walshy?
I think they've just been let down with that final pass.
Hint of a handball there, but we'll play on. And now Adelaide are a little skinny at the back as Andrews tries the through ball for Huster. Flag stays down. Goal. Newcastle Jets up 1-0. Everybody was waiting for the flag, but it didn't come. Instead, it was the Newcastle Jets in behind, and the crowd is silenced at Adelaide Shores.
That is some ball here we'll see from Tara Andrews. She's picked out Tori Huster. Gorgeous ball in between the 2 defenders, and then great, classy finish from Tori there.
The American just benefiting from lovely delivery.
Oh, absolutely beautiful ball between the defenders, and there's not much that Melissa Barbieri could have done there, but she's looked up here, played it first time, played a nice early ball. Sometimes what we're seeing up the other end with Adelaide, that ball's been played too late and the players ran offside. There, that was just, the timing was perfect.
Here they are with their tails up now, the Newcastle Jets. Wins have been very precious and rare in recent years, and they have the early advantage here, a position they're not terribly used to. There's a more direct ball. Well, as if to illustrate Steph's point there about too many passes at one end, it took precisely 1 pass to release Huster into a goal-scoring position. Again, Barbieri came and had a decent go at that. She made herself big, but it was a composed finish. And the Jets have their tails up as Dobson put some pressure on over there.
Good work there from McCormick.
She did well to get back. But Adelaide have had the wind taken out of their sails. They probably are entitled to believe that at the half-hour mark they should be square or perhaps even have the advantage. Van Egmond incisively forward again for Huster. This time Barbieri came off her line and didn't give the American a look at it.
That's something that Adelaide do not want. Emily Van Egmond getting on the ball and having time and space to be able to look up and pinpoint balls like that.
There's pressure on Holtman. And Yanella goes back. It's allowed to run. Barbieri delivers it out toward halfway.
There's two players we haven't actually mentioned today, Amber Nielsen and Hayley Crawford, which I'm extremely excited to see back in the W League. Look, for me, they're with Kaylee playing at centre-back, I think she's in a great chance to put her hand up for selection of the World Cup next year. She has 9 caps for Australia.
Here's Van Egmond dinking in behind. This time the flag is up. And Dobson and Barbieri come together aggressively. Flag up on this near side.
The instructions here from Ross.
I think he's saying don't play on too quickly to Melissa Barbieri. Let the attack get set, let the plan get put together, and then give them a bit of time to build. I think that was the instruction he was offering there. Woods. Condon. Yanella on Yeomandale. Yeomandale gets a foot in. Good defensive pressure from her. Edison, no hazard. Over to... Reynolds has done well there. Looks for Van Egmond. That is the first look every time. Where is Van Egmond? This is perhaps the second look. Dobson. Oh, looking for Van Egmond. Critical foot in there from, I fancy it was McCormick. And again, as if to illustrate Steph's point, when the Jets commit a lot of players forward as they're trying to do, Adelaide needs to transition just a little quicker than that.
Watch out, Aaron, you're going to get me a job soon. Maybe.
Yeah. We'll all be happy if we just keep them. Huh?
But you're absolutely right. Adelaide is trying to transition that ball a bit quicker, and that's something that Ross Aloisi has been urging over on this side. Again, you can see the players down on the far flank just have oceans of room.
These passes are sticking a little better for the Newcastle Jets now as well. It's like that goal has given them a plan. Yeomandale from a long way out. They fancy their chances from distance, the Newcastle Jets.
They do, absolutely. And this was a little bit ambitious, but look, she's seen Melissa Barbieri off the line, and we do know that she has the sun in her eyes there and just didn't connect as well as she would have liked. Great little run, though.
What can Adelaide find at home with half an hour gone and down by a goal? Barbieri sets Katie Holtham off, but Yanella comes and helps out. Yanella's impressed me in the opening half hour.
Yeah, she's been good. Ever since I gave them that rap and said they've been quite tight in defence, I think they've actually been quite casual on the ball, and a lot of their passes have been a little bit lackadaisical.
And I just rapped her and she turned it over, so the commentator's curse never fails. Huster's down, chopped quite heavily.
I think this was a tough tackle on Pedersen. He's come in, and that was actually Dylan Holmes.
Based on what we've seen from Van Egmond thus far, this is perhaps not beyond striking distance. There is the option of chipping something up at the penalty spot or the left post. There's a 4-person wall in front of her. Barbieri is trying to organise that.
Given that we have Tori Huster in front of the wall, I'd be surprised if set piece was coming out.
Yeah, she gave it short to Salem. Salem's offering wasn't spectacular. And Egmond in there, Huster in there. Nielsen controls for Yeomandale and is a target. And then goes in behind for Van Egmond. Well tracked back by Yanella, and she successfully pilots it over the goal line. Smart piece of defending.
Excellent work from Yanella there. She's actually just shielded the ball and really got in a good position to start with, so Emily Van Egmond couldn't get in front of her.
How would it be to be playing there? We're in the shade here, Steph, but is it pleasant conditions? Is that breeze cool enough?
It's actually really nice. Of course, I'm sitting on my backside, so probably a little bit harder if you're running around the pitch. But it is really warm. Direct sunlight with the daylight saving is literally almost overhead, but that breeze is getting stronger, and it's still blowing in that same direction, right to left, diagonally across the pitch towards the far post on the left-hand side of the Newcastle keeper. But really pleasant.
I do think it makes that goal worth even more for Newcastle. Here the ball is dinked over the top, very nicely read. And Andrews and Van Egmond release Dobson. Tough ball to control. She gives it to Reynolds, who makes a nice lead down the left, works it into the box, tries a luck at the near post, and I think that's another save from Barbieri. Yeah, it's going to be a corner. She had enough doubt that it forced her to go at it.
It was excellent play here on the left-hand side. Riley Dobson's played in Reynolds, who's made a great overlapping run, and then Tara Andrews, excellent run into the near post to get a touch on that. And, yeah, as you mentioned, saved again from Melissa Barbieri, keeping him in the game.
So Salem from the corner. The breeze will take it away from goal. Header from Reynolds. And Huster has dragged it back across the face and over the bar. Nicely worked corner from the Newcastle Jets. They are really starting to impose themselves.
They are imposing themselves, but you watch here the Adelaide defence, a little bit static for my liking. The ball's dropped and not one red defender has actually attacked that ball. Really, really fortunate to not concede there.
Huster was a little unlucky. She turned and threw a boot at it in front of virtually an open goal, and 9 times out of 10 that'll bear fruit, won't it?
Well, she actually had more time to actually not bring it down in the box, but
yeah,
it's an exaggeration.
Here's Powell and Moore, and a little too aggressive in fighting for possession. They've chased a lot of ball in the last 10 or 15, Adelaide. Here's Dobson again, delightful control from her. Salem. Might just want a tiny bit more out of Salem there to complete that midfield. I feel the Newcastle Jets. Colo. Mishit that one. Yeomandale is there. Clever foot in. Some red shirts around though as Condon dishes off. And it's saved at the near post again. Promising stuff. Lisa Marie Woods
again, they found
they
found themselves behind the defence again and really need to be cut back. There were 3 red shirts in the box. Really done well to make those runs into the box and couldn't find a red shirt. Great save from Colin.
Critical opportunity here for Lisa Marie Woods and the Adelaide Lady Reds. She goes far post. No one got anything on it. Holtham climbed high, and that will pass harmlessly over the side. That's luckless. You can't do much more than deliver a ball like that from the corner. I'd have hoped for an ounce of luck there. Moore's competing to try and stay up this end. It will be a Jets throw. And half-time is not terribly far away. It has come around quickly. Will get possession through Woods again.
I don't think Ross Aloisi would be too upset with them at half-time. They're creating the opportunities, as you see, and I think it's something that they've done throughout the season. They just really need to finish them off, or that final decision-making, whether it be to cut the ball back or have a shot.
Condon looking for more, read by Reynolds, cleared out of danger. Huster. They're getting some out of the Americans. I singled out Salem, but Huster and Reynolds delivering the goods. Both of them are the Western New York Flash they've been playing with.
Well, we have Catherine Reynolds from Western New York Flash, Salem from the same team, and Huster at Washington Spirit.
Is it good for both leagues that they play across the year and we get so many Americans here and so many Australians there?
Oh, absolutely, yeah. The more players we can get playing over there, it's good for our national team especially. But it's excellent for these the internationals. They come over and they get to play all year round. And come on, it's Australia.
How lovely ball through. Oh, and the flag is up. Seemed to take an eternity to find the player. Perhaps much better.
It was a great ball in here. They are finding much joy. Those quick balls in behind the defence are really hurting Newcastle, but they just haven't been able to, I guess, play it that little bit earlier, or it's just not coming off from this half.
Dobson again. Oof. For a speedster and a winger, she's got lovely control, Dobson, and I don't think it's any accident that she's getting lots of attention. Just reminding her that she hasn't got the space to herself over there. Oh, Van Egmond does beautifully well to take it away from two would-be defenders. Then the incisive ball forward. You can see with both of these sides that because they have struggled at times in recent years, they're struggling to put 10 and 15 and 20 minutes worth together. They're having spurts both ways, aren't they?
Well, I think especially for Adelaide, if you look across the team, as you mentioned, they're either under 20 or over 30, and only a couple of players over 30. So this is a really, really young Adelaide United team, and it's great to see that they're actually matching it with such a strong side on paper, this Newcastle Jets team. And once they actually start playing football to their potential, they're going to be a very difficult team to beat.
Hodgson down the left. Yeomandale comes at her. Should pilot it safely, and does. Inside 4 minutes of regulation time in the first half. Newcastle Jets would be delighted. They were the whipping girls of last year's competition, and I know that there was virtually a citywide commitment that wouldn't happen again in Newcastle, and that's evident in the recruitment. Well, and already, no matter what happens from here, it's been a more successful year than last year.
Yeah, in fairness to, I guess, Newcastle Jets for last year, they went for a lot of youth, but you can't just have youth alone. You need an older head to be able to, I guess, direct them and when things are going tough, so things don't go totally bad.
Yep.
Which we did get to see a couple times last year. But this team here, it's an absolutely different team.
Custer, Yeomandale, beautiful movement off the ball. Nielsen does likewise, dinks it into space. Tried to hold back on it because she knew the wind would take it, but still had a little bit too much on it. Goal kick, Adelaide. They've 2.5 minutes to find an equaliser in this opening half, because they will be into the breeze in the second half. Pedersen. Woods. Drifts in field and then tries to deliver to Yanella, who shifted over to the right. Nice idea. Again, I feel the breeze was a factor.
Yeah, it's a good idea. And Lisa Marie, she's still playing with the Norwegian national team, so really got great skills and just overhit that ball there. For me, she actually had Christy Moore come in and created space inside, and might not have been the best option in the end.
Norway's one of the better women's football nations.
Yes, definitely.
Midfield battle. Andrews is involved. Holmes as well. Now here's Dobson. Dobson in behind, takes a shot, and Barbieri has been forced to make, by my reckoning, her 5th critical save of the opening half. Another corner to the Jets.
Great work here from Riley Dobson. She's really done well to be running at speed and to continue to control the ball. And Holtham's actually done well enough to hold her up and put her off a shot in the end. And then another great save from Melissa Barbieri. But Dobson's extremely dangerous this first half, really starting to find some form.
She's showing it all. So it will be Salem with the corner in the dying minutes of the first half. Works something short with Huster. Back out to Salem. Pedersen is there to deal with it. Powell skies the header. So it's not yet cleared. Shot is off target. Barbieri won't bother saving that. They survive, the Reds, and have about a minute to turn it around. Might have a little bit of time added on for Ashley Spina's injury. Good stuff. Hayley Crawford.
She's been really solid in the back line.
Dobson, the go-to girl of the first half for the Jets. They go to her again. She's in behind again. Delivers back. Goal. 2-0. Emily Van Egmond. Those have been the two stars of the opening half, and they combine to double the advantage for the visiting Newcastle Jets.
It actually doesn't get much better than this. Riley Dobson starting to use the speed with real purpose. Just beating a defender there and then just cut back perfectly, put it on a plate for Emily Van Egmond, and she doesn't miss them from there. Really clean and classy goal. And this is some of the stuff that we talk about that we see from Sydney FC over the past years. That's no different to me. Beautiful goal.
That was the full array of skills on offer there. You had the pace, you had the ability to keep the ball, the delivery coming from Dobson, and it's not to be underestimated that finish from Van Egmond either, because she weighted that across the face of goal so that Barbieri, even going full length, wouldn't stop it. That's...
The exciting thing for me is Riley Dobson. So she knows that she has this speed, but she's really just pushing it past players, and when there's a time and place to do that, she picks the right time. And her pass to Emily Van Egmond, to look up, to be running at speed, to know to take it to the byline and then cut it back, it doesn't get better than that. And then Emily Van Egmond, she doesn't miss from there. She actually made that look a lot easier than it was.
That's a heartbreaker in the shadow of half-time for the home team. Pass back. Did well, did Colo. And that is half-time, according to referee Kelly Jones. And unsurprisingly, there is a hush around the Adelaide Shores Football Centre because the Newcastle Jets, in the shadows of half-time, into the teeth of a strong breeze. And despite, at times, looking second best, they take a very healthy 2-0 advantage into half-time.
Yeah, not too much in possession here, but time in opposition's half. If you see Newcastle Jets 62 and 38, so it's where they've had that possession and what they've done with it, and they've been much better in terms of their execution in the final third. So for the second half, we need to see more of that from Adelaide. They've been, I guess, creating the opportunities. They just need to be better in finishing them.
Steph Brantz has Melissa Barbieri.
Yeah, I'm guessing a pretty frustrated Melissa Barbieri. Is that the overriding emotion after that half?
Yeah. Excuse me for my voice, but yeah, it's really frustrating that we play so well. We have a majority of the possession, and then we can just let slip a couple of goals, and now we're behind the 8-ball 2-0 down at halftime on our home ground, and it's just disrespectful for the people watching at home and the people in the crowd that we're just putting up such a poor fight in defence. In attack, we're doing great though.
Which is wonderful. But for your own performance, Bubs, you are in the form of your life. We're commenting on how great you look, how well you're playing. Do you feel that as well?
Honestly, I wouldn't know. Like, I feel good. I feel great. I'm doing everything I possibly can to be the best player I can be. And at 34 years old with a baby at home, lots of pressure coming to and from Melbourne. So I feel like I'm doing the best that I can. And that's all I can ask for, really.
34 years young, and even superstars need a break. Thanks for chatting. Good luck for the second half.
Thanks, Nate. See ya.
Yeah, Melissa Barbieri here on her home turf with Adelaide trailing 2-0 here at Adelaide Shores. Now, while the players take a break, let's check in on the highlights from round 3 of the Westfield W League.
More than 3,000 fans turned out for the Sydney Derby, and the Sky Blues scored first. Well, almost. Amy Harrison ruled offside in the opening 5 minutes. Sydney FC kept the Wanderers camped in their own half, though, and made sure their next goal counted. Captain Teresa Polias struck it well before Jasmine Spencer launched onto a Sham Khamis error. 12 minutes on the clock, 0-1 to the visitors. Kendall Johnson is the latest American to join Western Sydney, and her corner tested out Casey Dumont's leaping skills. Before her passing game was also on show, leading up to Helen Patinos' shot. Undefeated so far this season, Sydney FC's attack has been brilliant, but it went to another level when Harrison, Nicola Bolger and Natalie Tobin produced something special. And Harrison wasn't done there. The 18-year-old had one last chance after Siravet Uzunlar created some space. But the scores would stay at 2-0, Sydney FC keeping the Wanderers goalless in their climb up the table. At Perry Park, Ballon d'Or winning keeper Nadine Ungara was back for the Roar, and Catherine Reynolds found her gloves early. 10 minutes down and Newcastle had possession before a referee deflection bounced perfectly for Kim Carroll. The veteran Matilda passed to Emily Gilnick, who made it 3 goals in 3 games. Mini by name, but certainly not by nature, Katrina Gorry's slicing pass, a big part in Brisbane's second goal to speedster Hayley Rasso. The pair were in sync again after the break. Gorry aimed for Butt's head, but Rasso's boot proved more effective. 3-0. It wouldn't be a perfect afternoon for the returning Ungara though. Laura Alloway's brain snap leaving her out of position and unable to defend Riley Dobson. So last season's runners-up are finally off the mark for 2014, grounding the Jets at home 3-1. Perth were chasing 3 straight wins while the Lady Reds hunted their first win of the season, but it was Sam Kerr who gave the home side a head start. Her shot nearly perfect. The Glory had chance after chance, but it took until the stroke of half-time for one to be converted. Elisa Davidio taking her time to aim and fire. 1-0 to Perth at the break, but Adelaide got the ball rolling first in the second. Lisa Marie Woods' strike, all class. With scores level, it was Perth's big guns who started the fight back. First Kerr, and then Kate Gill with this knockout blow 3 minutes later. The Purple Brigade marching on 3-1, while Adelaide are still winless after 3 rounds.
Beautiful ball, Nan. That turn was beautiful. That's a penalty. Surely it is. The referee points to the spot.
We were in Canberra for the ABC game, and a Christine Nan Gracefield tangle earned American Lauren Barnes her first penalty this season, and she made it count. 3 rounds down, and the Victory finally had their internationals back. They were playing like it too, but it was some homegrown talent who combined to make it 0-2. Devanna was at it again after the break, proving why she is one of the biggest draw cards in women's football.
Devanna, this could be 3 chips early. Oh my goodness, what a goal! A special out of the top draw from Lisa Devanna. Through ball was brilliant and the chip was superb.
Oh, it was cheeky from Lisa Devanna here. Look, she really was in a position to be able to take another touch, take it around the keeper, but look, in fact, she's taken the cheeky option.
Staring down the 3-0 deficit, Laurie Lindsay took matters into her own feet, on target all the way to the back of the net. And with a Canberra comeback looming, Ellie Brush threw herself into defence, but Gemma Simon bounced on towards goal. So 1-4, and Lindsay launched another aerial attack. This time, success for the home side. Munoz cleaning up to claim the strike. 2-4 to the defending champs was how it finished, and they're looking dangerous a third of the way into the competition.
And here in Adelaide, on a perfect long weekend Sunday, the revitalised Newcastle Jets have the advantage over the Adelaide Lady Reds at half-time. The visitors have taken their chances despite the desperation of Moore and Co. on home turf. Huster in the 28th minute. Van Egmond, a special in the shadows of half-time. The visitors lead it 2-0. Round 4 got underway yesterday in Canberra when they hosted the Brisbane Roar. And the visitors, via Tamika Butt, had an early opportunity, forcing a Chantel Jones save. But it was Ashley Sykes who was going to have a night out in the nation's capital. Beautiful work down the left early on in the 36th minute. Laurie Lindsay's corner. Look at Ellie Brush off defenders for a brilliant header. She doesn't get the goal though. Gracefield got the final touch in. The veteran, Caitlin Munoz, was also busy. She nearly dished one up for Sykes in front of goal. The finish, though, wasn't there. It came soon enough. Here's Sykes again, working her way at will through the box, setting it up. The attempted clearance, well, did it come off Kellen Knight or did it come off Heyman? It will go as an own goal against Kellen Knight. And here's Sykes again, as she was doing all night, setting up Heyman, and Ungra with a very special save to deny the third. Good enough, though. Canberra at home, field in the 36th. An own goal from Kellen Knight, and they won 2-0. Grace Field and Claire Polkington spoke to us after the game.
Yeah, I thought we started the game strongly. In the first 20, 30 minutes, I thought we had control of the game, and, you know, we created a couple of chances, and then we let in a pretty soft goal, and, you know, we came out again in the second half looking to sort of stretch their defence a little bit, and another soft goal, and we can't do that against a quality team.
Yeah, it's amazing. I mean, it was just a tap in, but I couldn't believe it. I just tapped it in. I was just so excited. Unbelievable, really.
At the end of the day, if you're not scoring goals, you're not going to win games, and that's something we've got to work on. You know, we can keep the ball at the back or in the midfield for as long as we want, but, you know, if we can't put some goal-scoring opportunities together and put some in the back of the net, then we're not going to go too far.
We played as a team. We tried a new formation, and to win against such an amazing team like Brisbane, it's amazing.
And here at Adelaide Shores, it is the Newcastle Jets who opened the scoring with a delightful through ball and an excellent finish. Melissa Barbieri's done a lot, but she couldn't do a lot with that. It's Huster, the American, just staying composed. And then have a look at this. This is a world-class goal. Dobson sets up Van Egmond. She strikes beautifully across the keeper and inside the right-hand upright.
Oh, and excellent. We actually see from that angle that Emily Van Eggerman has held a run off and actually pulled that back there. So excellent work. Two
really good goals here at half-time. And Sam Kerr, playing her 50th W League game, has a double at half-time against the Wanderers. Perth lead that 2-0. And then tomorrow, 5 o'clock, Lambert Park, Sydney. Fancy seeing an inter-city rivalry between Sydney and Melbourne. Will be there. That will wrap up round 4 of the W League. But even if you missed that, there's so many ways to enjoy the W League on the ABC. There's your iView. There's our national replay, 3:30 on Tuesday. Follow us on Facebook and Twitter. I recommend that you do so as well. Steph Brantz has Peter McGuinness, the Newcastle Jets coach.
Yeah, thank you very much, Aaron. Peter, you must be pretty pleased with that first half. Well, I'm assuming you am 2 goals to the good. It's indicative of what the benefit of the changes you've made in the off-season, and that must make you feel very proud, yes?
Yeah, look, we've brought some extra experienced players in to go with the youth so that our whole environment improves over the course of a year and not just match days. So they've been fantastic. As you see today, they're good footballers. The more we can get them on the ball, the more that we'll benefit.
Now, coming from the wooden spoon position, what's your target for the season? I know that every side has its eye on the title, but what's your realistic ideal finishing spot?
I think if we can be thereabouts knocking on the top 4, I think it's a great step forward for Newcastle football. That's our goal, is to get in the top 4, and we'll give it a good shot.
And just finally, Ashley Spinner, we saw her go down, looks like another knee. Is it structural? What's the verdict?
The first diagnosis was it's ACL. Let's hope not.
Indeed, that's very disappointing, but indeed, good luck for your side today and for the rest of the season. Thanks for chatting.
Thanks, Steph.
Stephanie Brantz and Peter McGuinness are about ready for a start in the second half. I think it would be fair to say he's keeping his powder dry, not too excited too early, despite the double goal advantage for the visitors. And it will be Adelaide with first use of it in the second half. There's a buzz around Newcastle. Even hearing from the local pollies at half-time. They've waited for a while for some success. And they need another 45 minutes as good as the first 45 from their side here. The Reds need to find something. What do you think would have been said in the respective rooms, Walshy?
Well, look, I think much of the same from Newcastle Jets. They've been quite impressive in the first half, and I just finished off the two real chances that they had. But Adelaide really need to, I guess, be tighter in the back, as Melissa Barbieri mentioned before she left. And also, you're not going to get so many opportunities in a match like this. It's a bit of an arm wrestle, so you really need to take the ones that you get. And I'd probably make the better decisions. We've seen a couple of the midfielders on the ball looking up and playing long balls let's look for the striker's feet and just change things up, add a little bit of variety to the match.
Here is what I think has universally been agreed as the star of the opening half. Dobson again, a little dangerous, awkward ball for Barbieri. Andrews wasn't there for the finish. So Barbieri slowing it down, trying to keep this young side calm, have them consider their build-up. That's exactly what they're doing now, Waltham. Nice ball over the top, but the offside flag is up against Tian Powell.
Yeah, I think that's the kind of stuff that will have Ross Eloise's blood boiling. Tian Powell there can see the entire back line, and when that ball comes across, she really knows where she should be standing, and that's like the third or fourth time she's been offside. It's kind of not good enough at this level, and once or twice that's okay, but you really need to, I guess it's letting the team down.
It's the psychological impact on a young side as well. They did everything right building up from the back, and now here's a mistake. Dobson gets in behind for the Jets. Dobson with the finish. Oh, great finish in the end. It's 3-0. That's the perfectly awful start to the second half for the Reds. It's the perfect start for the Newcastle Jets. They hold a 3-0 advantage, and Dobson has one as well.
I think this has originated from a bad back pass, and it's come through from Anella, I think, and I actually originally thought the chance was gone, and Dobson's had a second bite of the cherry there, and really good finish. You see the bad back pass, and thought she was going to have the shot a little bit earlier, and then the opportunity was still there, and she's taken it. It's a terrible start for Adelaide, but look, you kind of get the feeling this could go bad.
Ugh. If it hasn't already, here's Van Egmond trying to link up with Andrews. The defence recover for now. But you've got the simultaneous actions here of a young side under extreme pressure. How can they avoid folding up this early in the second half? And then you've got another side that have their tails up. I just got to continue to wrap Dobson, Steph. You have a look at her and you go, oh yeah, there's a speedy winger, but she's a lot more than that.
She is indeed, and when you get her on the ball, she's really strong and aggressive. And I was actually commenting to Peter McGuinness off camera that she looks like a girly girl when you see her, because she's got pretty hair and lovely makeup, and gee, you get her on the ball and she's tough as.
Hayley Razzo, oh, here's a mistake at the other end. Condon thought about pulling the trigger, and Salem's able to recover for the Jets. Well, that might have been the nice, cheap, easy get back for Adelaide, but they couldn't take it. Instead, they're turned around with work to do. Pressure from the Newcastle Jets again. Van Egmond just skied the header. She was leaning back. She knew what she had to do. She was trying to direct it back down at the near post, but it just took her high on the forehead.
It was a great ball in from Yamandale. She's made a great run down the right-hand side and whipped that in, and possibly a little bit behind Van Egmond. She's really had to work hard to get a head onto that.
Barbieri under pressure again. They need to be more assertive at the back, Adelaide. They cannot afford another cheap turnover back there. Reynolds.
Discussing that last goal, I retract that it was Hodgson who delivered that back pass. Hodgson's actually 18 years of age, and alongside Anella, who's 17 years, you also have Condon, who's 16 years. I can't even remember what kind of player I was at 16 years of age, and you know, she'd be rattled from that back pass. It'd be great to see her, I guess, dust it off, and I'm sure that's the message she'd be receiving from the older players around her.
Howling breeze at the back of Emily Van Egmond, and look at that, like a missile into the box of Adelaide. This is a little more discreet for Reynolds, who has a moment on the ball, goes on a little run with the left. Yeah, just fell away as she hit that. But they're experimenting now, the Jets. They just feel like they're right at home out there.
Yeah, they're finding a lot of space, and especially, as we've mentioned time and time again, with Dobson down the left-hand side.
Yeah, it's Barbieri, somewhat desperately with the left foot, getting it out towards halfway. Edison. Again. Described as the Great Dane in the press this week. Here it is for Moore. She does well to get through some heavy traffic. Gets a helping hand from Holmes and from the referee.
The Great Dane you just mentioned, I believe she has over 200 caps for Denmark.
Yeah. It's astonishing career. And great physical presence. Say, trying to work back to fitness after maybe just 4 months ago. Here she is with a header, dangerously down. The Reds can't pull the trigger. Holtham lays it back. Chipped in by Holmes. Still not dealt with. More. Nowhere to go. 2 in a pocket. Hangs on to possession. Needs some help. Yanela comes. The defence eventually takes it away from her. And somewhat ambitiously played into the box. Van Egmond will cleverly give it to Dobson. Dobson will go on a run over halfway. Andrews goes behind a defender. Andrews still going, taken down, and it was all ball, according to the referee. That almost deserved to finish, that transition.
Oh, it did. Lisa Marie Woods has caught Tara Andrews out. Tara Andrews just needed to play to the right-hand side. Tori Huster had made a fast run down the right-hand side. See Tori Huster with her hands up at the end. Tara Andrews was, I guess, too busy looking at the ball at that point. We'll see here. Looks down at the last minute. I'm not sure that she might have heard the Huster's call down the right-hand side, but they were on goal there.
Had to check back at the defender rather than just hit it to the open space, or say whether or not she had to. It's questionable. She did.
Oh, she's taken it back into 2 defenders, and she had miles of space on the right. Lucky there from Adelaide.
Van Egmond for Huster now. Good lead from Yeomandale down the right. Flashy highlighter boots. She's in behind as well. First touch delivery at the near post. Barbieri reads it and gathers it. The highlights reel from this is going to be special. The goals are great. Some of the build-up is great. The keeping's been good as well. This has had some high-quality moments.
Yeah, definitely, and especially the addition with Yeomandale coming in. She's really added that spark down the right-hand side. She's so versatile, playing as a right back and then now getting in behind. And we see another offside here, and this is the stuff that's just frustrating, and they're just the small, simple, basic things that they're not doing right today. It's not a lot of adjustment for them to be able to turn their game around, but simple offsides like that, they just need to be cut out of the game.
Well, Adelaide about to make their first adjustment. Ross Eloise is pulling his NDC Player of the Year, Dylan Holmes, off the pitch, and it's time for Lauren Steer to take her place.
A young player who, again, has some big raps on her. A lot of tomorrows on NRL final day, as Warren Ryan, the great NRL coach, used to say. There's players with tomorrows and there's players with yesterdays. She got a lot of tomorrows, as do many of these young Adelaide players.
It's another 17-year-old that's entered the field.
Yeah, that's, she's saying, I don't even know I could walk upright at 17. Here it is down the right. Huster can't hook it around. Should be mentioned, because I don't know if it has been in the second half, that we have the Reds working into the teeth of an increasing breeze. Feels like it's flattened out and chilled up even as this match has gone on. So
yeah, Aaron, it's also starting to come more across the pitch. So coupled with the fact that the angle of the sun is changing as well, it's going to make it pretty challenging.
You've got the factor 15 on over there, Steph.
Yeah, I'm just saying that because the sun's going to be in my eyes as well.
I know you've been in dark room for basketball a lot.
They let me out occasionally.
Here's Van Egmond for Reynolds with some space. The go-to girl, Dobson. Little casual with the left foot cross. It's ended well for her. Gee, the 50-50s are falling for Newcastle and against Adelaide. But Newcastle will take it because they'll feel like they've had a couple of seasons where nothing went their way. So, oh. What we ruled there?
Exactly sure. It's offside, was she?
So somehow it's wound up in the possession of Melissa Barbieri. I thought that was a bog standard corner from.
Maybe that's why she was casual about that.
Indeed. Maybe she'd seen the flag up. Makes a lot of sense.
Yeah, no confirmation here that it was offside.
Thank you. Salem for Huster in the circle. Looks up for Van Egmond. Can't find her. Not yet dealt with by Adelaide. Reynolds. Nielsen, Van Egmond, Nielsen. Oh, it's a clinic at the moment. Dobson onto the right foot, delivers. Huster's header is not clean. Nielsen should run it down. Work to do. 2 come at her. The throw is Newcastle's, and it's quick. And it's Yeomandale. In behind one, into the box. Yeomandale's run is checked. The cross can't be finished at the far post. Barbieri covered the near post. It was too high for Dobson. Here's Huster. The hair's loose. So she, and it's saved at the near post this time by Barbieri. But they're peppering the Jets. Adelaide need to find a way forward. Need to find a way back. Yanella. Holtham. And it's all black and white. The Newcastle UK style black and white away strip.
Look at the space that they have in the midfield here, Newcastle Jets. They're just, it's almost like Adelaide United. I'm not sure if they've been defending for a while, but they're actually sitting really, really deep. So Newcastle are able to dictate play here in the midfield. Turned it over.
Moore picks up something cheap, and it's 3-on-3 at the back. Moore may go herself. Looks to release. Condon, and Colo saves on the second attempt. That earns warm applause from the fans.
And Condon's done really, really well here to be able to stay on side and held a run up, and then Christy Moore's played a beautiful ball in. It's almost finished on a non-preferred foot there, but held a run up, and then just couldn't get the finish in it. But great save from Colo there.
Sounds odd to say in a game 57 minutes old with 3 goals, but gee, the keepers have been good today, both ends. Barbieri is probably responsible for it not being 5 or 6-0.
Yeah, I think it was evident at half-time, Aaron, how frustrated she was because her efforts didn't deserve that scoreline.
Showing all the articulation of a former expert for ABCW League. Here is a dangerous ball in for Dobson again. Barbieri comes and wins the foot race. But Dobson is working narrow, she's working wide, she's working the channels, and she's working Adelaide over.
Yeah, we just see there the Adelaide strikers, they're not playing close enough to each other, playing 3 up top. But if Tian Powell's actually going to flick that ball on there, she needs someone playing off her. And it's almost like they're not playing as a collective at the moment.
Andrews loses possession. And Adelaide, what can they find? They're so close and yet so far, is what we keep saying. It continues to be true. Condon lets it go for Holtham. She has an option in Powell, dinks it in behind, and she's offside again. That one looks slightly harsher to me, but that's 5 or 6 thus far.
Yeah, get to see in the replay here. She was offside. I hope she wasn't. And it doesn't look like she was, actually. That's a tough call.
Slightly harsh call. It felt harsh to the naked eye. That is 7 offsides, though, against Adelaide in this match. And maybe all but one belongs to Powell. I think we've got another substitution, Steph.
Yeah, we sure do. Lisa Marie Woods has made way. We've got Delataz Borg, who's come on. And, in fact, initially the plan was perhaps to pull Tian Powell off, but Powell stays on, and it's Lisa Marie Woods that's come off.
What's that likely to do to formations and game plans, Walshy? I'll give you a moment to consider that. As Reynolds has it with a bit of space and gets a lead from Dobson. Oh, she's checked heavily from behind. Kind of just occasionally a reminder that she can't have everything to herself. McCormick chops her, and they play on quickly. Nielsen. Van Egmond central. Salem goes on a little run, looks for Andrews. Moore wants no part of it. Salem wins it back. Nielsen lays off for Van Egmond. Look at the passing. Huster back for Salem. Now Dobson. It's quite beautiful. Dobson looks to go inside a defender. Needs to deliver. Shot at the near post. Slightly awkward, but no power on it, and Barbieri is equal to it.
That was actually good defending from Adelaide United there. They've kept them out, and for as long as they keep them in front, a shot from there won't really hurt them.
Forced, 11 or 12 passes before the shot, didn't they?
Yeah.
Condon. Adelaide. Ball gets her first touch. It's back to Barbieri. Just looked like they used a lot of fuel with those few bits of dumb decision, pushing forward and giving up the offside, doing a bit of ball watching and a bit of ball chasing. They just look like they have less fuel in the tank. There's nothing like a 3-0 advantage to give you some mojo as well. Powell's onside. And Condon comes to help. Oh, a shot is across the face of goal. Where did that come from? It just sat there and somebody flung a right foot at it. Colo had it comfortably covered. It was well across the face of goal. It will be a goal kick, but hopefully on the hour mark, a little beyond, some inspiration.
It's initially come from Tian Powell, stayed onside to keep this ball alive, and then Condon's had a pretty off-target shot there, but it's good to see that she's picking up confidence. Given she's a young player, she's pulled the ball down there and had the shot. They really haven't had a lot of shots off, and they, I guess, may have possibly been a little bit cute around the 18-yard.
Here's Reynolds in defence. Cleverly worked forward by the Jets. Pedersen, an awkward ball. McCormick into heavy traffic where Salem intercepts. There's room here for the Jets. Huster has an option in Yeoman Dale and now finds her. Yeoman Dale at full stride works her way into the box. Yeoman Dale needs the final cross. Barbieri is there. They did well to get back in numbers, Adelaide, but the Jets are just really putting together some exciting attacking plays at the moment.
It was great work from Lauren Steer to be able to, I guess, stay up with the play and make that attempt, the tackle on Yemendale. Otherwise, Yemendale was on goal there. They break so quickly, and we got to see there Huster could have played an early ball, which would have been cut out, but had the nous to be able to hold it and then play a later ball. Really caught Adelaide off guard, and by doing that, beat two players.
It's interesting, the Newcastle Jets came here last year and were beaten 3-1 in what was widely regarded as a real low point for the club last year. And I know that during the week there was some discussions. Only 3 players survive to this starting 11, but there was a lot of discussion about the pride being dented and just not letting that happen again. And I know that Adelaide's improved season last year means that no one comes here and takes them lightly anymore either, do they? You know, everyone brings their A game down here.
Yeah, exactly right. I feel watching this team now, I do think they were a little bit more compact and much more disciplined in defence or even in attack, and in terms of their shape. They don't look as tight as they did last year, and I'm not exactly sure if it's just this match, but they really could be better in those areas, and where Ross has such high standards for.
Little opportunity for them here. Powell put down for Holtham. Surely that's a foul. It is. And one would think this is beyond the strike zone directly into the teeth of this breeze.
Evan Nielsen clearly a little bit late here on that challenge. Will be interesting to see who picks up and takes this, if it'll be Peterson or Christy Moore.
They're both in the vicinity. Colo hasn't really faced a set play from this sort of danger zone this afternoon. Lots of options at the far post. A relatively small wall to get around. If Moore decides to go that way, might be Peterson. She steps over. Moore with the right foot, hangs it up at the far post. Oh, it is the perfect articulation of the afternoon and the season, just millimetres from being perfect. And again, the Reds come away with nothing.
Yeah, this one's actually just lofted over and a lot closer than initially thought, but skimmed the top bar there. Keeper had been beaten.
Yeah, she'd really tried to allow for that breeze, hoping it was going to dip under the crossbar. Now we've seen Isabel Hodgson very, very busy down the flanks for Adelaide, and she's now being replaced by Rachel Alonso.
Rachel Alonso it is. And Kath Reynolds it is for the Jets. US player to US player, Salem, Nielsen. Nielsen is looking evergreen. She's certainly got the give and go going this afternoon. Here's Reynolds in space. Holds it up. Needs a target. Why not Dobson? Why not indeed? She goes straight back down the left. Returns the favour for Reynolds. Van Egmond creates the extra person. Dobson for Nielsen. Short for Andrews. Reds have the numbers. I sense that the Jets are very much trying to get some quality ball to Andrews. They want her to get a look at goal. Here at the other end is Powell, under heavy attention. Dobson took one on the ankle there. Ball played in dangerously. Colo's out of position. She goes hard, now retreats. Condon has the keeper off the line, and the shot is straight at her. Yeah, Dobson's been hurt. I was momentarily distracted. She got tangled up and took one in sort of the laces, the arch of the foot there.
Might see it here. Yeah, she's collected her as she's come through, though. I think that's it, Alonso. She seems to be running it off, though. A little bit of miscommunication in the back line there for Newcastle. We haven't seen too much of that today.
The Reds would like to ask some more questions. Yanella, who's played left and right this afternoon. McCormick lets it go for Barbieri. Needs a target, a lead. She just needs somebody to grab it by the scruff of the neck for the Reds. This is one woman who can do it. Moore. Again, though, there's just not many options on. Barbieri looks up and isn't sure who to hit. Moore wins a tough possession like that and isn't sure who to hit.
Yeah, exactly right. She's looked up and really didn't have an option. And when we did actually see the wide camera angle there, a lot of players standing behind defenders and really need to make that movement off the ball. And the top three are playing so high and not really showing as an option.
Nielsen for Dobson, down the left again, as she's done all afternoon. Two come at her, muscle her, she goes down. No foul, says the referee.
You kind of wonder what Adelaide's going to take from this game into their match with Melbourne Victory, because we've spoken about Riley Dobson's pace, but in Melbourne you're looking at someone like Elisa Devanna, who you'd think is even probably a little bit quicker.
Yeah.
Well, it's actually, yeah, it's pretty scary to think about those two.
Well, particularly with what Melbourne put together last week. Was it last week?
Yeah, against Canberra last week.
Yeah.
It's...
Here are the Reds playing one dangerously into the penalty area. Reynolds can't quite deal with it yet. Still not cleared. Condon puts it back into the penalty area. And eventually it is cleared out toward halfway. Andrews struggled to get a really good quality play on it today. She's certainly done work to make things available to those around her. Reynolds seemed to have said her name a lot in the second half. Nielsen can't quite get there before it goes over the sideline. Oh, this turf makes for entertaining football because you can really weigh your passes, can't you?
You can, and exposes bad touches too, because it's so true. And you know, there's no rock or anything you can blame to.
A bit of Adelaide Hill spin effects that you can credit with the rough touch.
Was that your excuse, Walshy?
Yeah, I always use that excuse. In all seriousness, I've been really impressed by this Anella playing right back.
Yeah.
She's been excellent, and considering that she's had to defend Dobson all game, and as you mentioned, she did play on the left-hand side and switch with Hodgson. She's been really good for me.
Holtham hangs one up in the penalty area. Again, shot from Moore. Oh, she just mistimed the volley. It fell, she wound up, pulled the trigger, and it just didn't connect.
No, she hasn't connected here, and I think she might have had a little bit more time than she originally thought. And you know, I think that's where the times where teammates need to be yelling out, "You have time on the ball," and bring it down. And they're the instructions that she's not receiving from her teammates.
You can see the frustration. I remember one interview last year, she was nearly in tears, Christy Moore, because they'd come so close and conceded a late goal or some such. And you heard Barbieri at half-time. There's so much passion in this Adelaide side. Here's Huster for Newcastle. Shot across the face of goal. She just looked at her options and went, there's nothing better than my left foot.
It was a great shot off a left peg too, and interesting to see how far off she was. Oh,
a bit off, but yeah.
But it has been really frustrating to watch, I guess, for Adelaide. They've just been that inch off every time, and if they weren't offside in the first half and did finish that goal, it totally changes the game, the dynamics of the game moving forward. it's just, yeah, it's really hard to watch because they're not far off.
And the exciting thing from a Newcastle perspective is a few years ago, I think it was the year that Barbieri played in Newcastle, they had some success and there were really good crowds. And I know we set record W League crowds last weekend. A successful Newcastle, they'll attract thousands by themselves.
Yeah, that'll be
the
fantastic.
town is hungry for it.
They are. They've got really good support up there. And if you remember that side, that had Ari Hengst, I think. Lisa Devanna was up there.
That's
then
right.
Too. It was a cracking side.
Yes.
So you live up there, don't you, Aaron?
Yeah. And
so what's the buzz been like around this team?
there is a real appetite for success. I mean, it's a great football town for both genders, and the men have not done particularly well. It's been a grim couple of years, and they're hungry for however it comes, and they're ready to get behind these girls. So this, particularly televised as it is, will ensure a big home crowd next up. I'm confident of that.
Well, that I guess that goal of reaching the top four for me is extremely realistic, and once you make that top four, as we've seen in the last couple of seasons, I think it's third and fourth played off in the final, and really anything can happen.
Here's Yeoman Dale down the right, a new Novocastrian, and they've won a corner here. Gee, the wingers have been wholehearted for the Jets. Going to be Salem who takes it. I was saying to you as well, Newcastle is a good fit of a town. It's well documented that these W League players aren't making millions of dollars, and if you can get a job, you can live a good life at a good price in a place like Newcastle, and apparently the Americans as well, very happy there. Here's one delivering across the face of goal. Barbieri comes, can't claim. The follow-up! It's a double for Dobson. Great reward for a great afternoon's work, and that is another top-class goal. The Jets lead at 4-0.
That goal there, hit on the volley, absolutely sweetly from Dobson. She's just on fire, this girl, and there's nothing that she can't do. She's beating players, but look, she's made that look so much easier than it actually is. But it's fallen down here perfectly, and we'll see that on the highlights reel. Just hit it sweetly.
Nice delivery from the corner. Salem deserves some credit there.
I'm so excited by this player here.
She's good.
She was brought into the Matildas camp under Hesterine Darus and really performed quite well at that level. So, look, there's no reason why she won't be brought into camp in January under Alan Stajic if she continues with this form.
Well, she's certainly shown the full toolkit this afternoon. Here's more. And there she is with a critical defensive interception as well, Riley Dobson. She's having a golden afternoon. I know that there was talk in the press in Newcastle this week that the Americans wanted to produce a big game because they wanted to have this game seen. They knew it was televised. They wanted it to go back. Oh, the Jets in a bit of trouble here. Their keeper off the line, delivered in. Reds can't make them pay again, but it's entirely dealt with. But Colo's recovered her position. Yeah, just saying that the Americans are really keen because this was a TV game. They wanted to show their best and showcase the game down here and the quality that they're playing, and they've certainly done that thus far.
Oh, they have. And again, not dissimilar to Melbourne victory with the international players they've picked up. They complement the Matildas in terms of Emily Van Egmond and the former Matildas with Amber Nelson and Hayley Crawford coming in. They complement each other, so they haven't brought in a huge superstar, in my opinion, but brought in three extremely good players who are going to contribute to this team and training sessions.
And of course, Emily Van Egmond, her father, is a dangerous through ball, but Colo will come and claim. Her father was, for some years, on a couple of occasions indeed, the coach of the Newcastle Jets men's team, so she effectively grew up on the shores of Lake Macquarie in Newcastle, so it is a homecoming for her, even though she's been in a lot of different places. Here's Condon, controlled well for a moment, but then had it taken away from her. Salem for that woman, Van Egmond. I think the Western Sydney Wanderers are missing her and a couple of others as well. Reynolds under pressure from Alonso. Says you can't do that to me, sir. Sir agrees. Or milady, as the case may be.
I was just about to say that, Aaron. I think she's a female.
Yes, she is. So, yes, sir. There's a ball for Dobson. If in doubt, give it to her this afternoon. And she's won a free kick for you. Tell you what, she'll be making a copy of this tape. Don't have many better afternoons than she's had, Van Egmond.
I can give you a bit of news that might make Adelaide feel a bit better. The Perth Glory Western Sydney Wanderers game is 8-1 to Perth at the moment.
Ooh, wow.
Which is a phenomenal lead.
Oh, dear.
Oh, I believe Keelan Winters is overseas and not playing this game as well, so they're missing one of their best players.
Dobson delivers again with the left foot this time. Barbieri does well to claim it. Well, that was only 2-0 at half-time.
What does that say about Perth's attacking force? It's scary.
And it just shows if any team doesn't play 90 minutes now in this league, Christy Moore said it before the match again this afternoon, every year the bottom shelf gets higher,
Oh, absolutely. And in terms of Perth Glory, I remember, I think, being part of a Sydney FC team that beat them 11-1 or 11-0 or something like that. And look, they're beating teams 8-1. How quickly it can change.
Yeah. There's another town that's hungry for some success. Here's a ball for Dobson again. Can't go through the defender this time.
Well defended from Manella there again.
She has been really good.
She's really held her own.
Whatever's been asked of her this afternoon. She gets in Dobson's pocket again. Reynolds with the throw.
And we're about to have another substitute, Aaron. We've got Newcastle making their second change. Libby Copus-Brown is coming on, and Georgia Yeomandale gets to take a break after a pretty impressive shift. And I think you'll remember that Libby used to be one of the internationals when they had a very young emerging Jets program, but she's a naturalised Australian, I think, as of last year. So she counts as a local now.
Yes. And very much one of those youngsters that has a rap upon her, Yanella. It's fallen for Van Egmond. Threads the needle for Huster. Nice skills on the ball. Holds it up beautifully. Goes to her fellow American, Salem, Van Egmond. In for Andrews. Andrews just needs it to fall so she can pull the trigger. It does not. And there's numbers there for the Reds to bring it away. Alonso. Reynolds putting pressure on her. Reynolds has got good engines. She's covered some turf this afternoon. Van Egmond hits it to where someone ought to be. It's only Condon for the Reds, though. Holtham into the box. Holtham still going. And there's enough attention there in the defence of Hayley Crawford.
That's probably something we haven't mentioned. Holtham, seeing her playing a little bit higher. She's been held in the back line today, but she's actually been playing as a 9 and in the midfield for this team. So as you can see, when she does get high, she's creating chances and she's very dangerous. So it'd be interesting to see if Ross, I guess, picks up on this change that's been made and if he decides to actually play her that deep again. She's been very dangerous.
Is there a goal in this? Moore delivers near post. Andrews, the attacker, does some defensive hard work. Oh, another dangerous ball played in. Holtham with a header. The follow-up is cleared off the line by Nielsen. Oh, the Adelaide fans thinking, what have we got to do? How many chances can we create before we get something here? They've been denied again, and there was desperate defence that did it. Oh, there's Dobson in heavy contact with, it's Alonso in there, is it? Yep.
Yep.
And it will be a free kick.
Here we get to see the ball in from Christy Moore. Great ball in, deal with that. Oh, and almost scored off the back of it, but Holtham there, right where she needed to be in the back post.
Moore with another set play opportunity. They're all at the left-hand upright. That's where she goes. It hangs, the header, misses left.
It's a gorgeous ball in. And Peterson with over 200 caps for Denmark. You'd expect her to actually finish that off there, and it's in a really good position and just skimmed off her forehead. They've been building up. They've been building up. When is it actually going to go in? They can't buy a goal today.
It's 4-0. You go, that's an absolute rout. Somebody's been absolutely played off the park, and I don't know that tells the whole story of what's gone on here this afternoon.
No, absolutely not.
Condon for Powell. Holtham over the top. Colo comes and claims. I say she hasn't had the spectacular things to do that Barbieri has at the other end, but it's been a competent keeping performance from the Novocastrian. Say she's not Novocastrian, she's from Port Macquarie. Perhaps the W League's first Port Macquarie player. I can't think of any others that have come from that neck of the woods to play at this level. Moore.
Yeah, she's been really good. One thing I think that comes from a young player, we'd like her to be a little bit more vocal. She can hear Melissa Barbieri throughout the whole game, and your defensive line really need to hear from their keeper throughout the match.
Very good.
She's been excellent with her hands.
Very good point. Also, perhaps shows the value of those experienced players that are working the back, the areas in front of her, because they might be covering that inexperience. Is Moore, front of the circle, gets a good lead from Yanella down the right. Hangs it up in the spot, and the finish is missing again. That was the left foot volley that she wanted to take it directly on the laces. It took the outside of the foot, and it missed left.
Look, although she's missed this, what about that ball in? Absolutely gorgeous. And Tian Powell has timed her run beautifully to be able to connect with that ball. Just really, I mean, it's a lot more difficult than it looks, but it's fallen on a non-preferred foot, and she'd love to have it again, I'm sure. She'd be dirty with that.
Effort deserves reward, and she's made a lot of effort this afternoon for very little reward. Here, though, at the other end is the hot streak Dobson. Taking on Yanella again. Has Reynolds in support. And eventually, after thinking about an advantage, Dobson's hurt again. This one looks a little more serious. Is it just cramp? Yeah, it's just cramp, I think. Dr. Walsh?
Unfortunately, terribly wrong with Spino. We'll keep our fingers crossed for her, hearing that it's possible ACL again. She's worked so hard to get back to football. Played for Brisbane Roar and moved down here and playing great football.
Hardly is an injury per se. Locking up when you've done as many miles as she has done out. Long ball.
Also, sometimes when you play on turf and you've been playing on grass, the change can obviously change in the way that you run.
Yeah. Crawford. Colo.
This won't hurt their goal advantage as well. And with this, I imagine if obviously if they win today in the next 6 minutes, they'll leapfrog Brisbane Roar. Is that correct, Steph?
Yeah, I think you might be right there, because they'd have 2 wins. Brisbane's only on 3 points.
Great. Here is Van Egmond taking on Barbieri. Barbieri wins round 1. And the frustration of the keeper. She doesn't like blotting the copybook.
Oh, I thought we were going to get something special here. I thought Emily Van Egmond was going to have that first time. I kind of wish she had of, and good save from Melissa Barbieri there again.
How powerful is her strike?
Oh, it's all about technique. And she's top shelf.
Well, Riley's done enough for one day, guys. She's going to make way now, have a break, and stretch out those cramps or whatever it is that Dr. Walsh has diagnosed she's suffering from. Claire Wheeler comes on. I think Claire was brought into the side with the absence of Grace McIntyre, who's with Alex Chidiac in that under-17 side at the AFC Under-16 Championship. So another youngster who's making her way.
Salem with the corner. At the near post, curling dangerously, and it's somehow cleared out of immediate danger. Nielsen follows up, and Barbieri tips it over the bar. That's such great keeping. Barbieri is extremely upset by something that went on from the corner. Extremely upset, and there's going to be implications here.
Crawford, and you definitely can't do that. I'm exactly sure what she's talking about. We'll get to see it on the replay, but initially I thought she was screaming at her defenders for not pushing up. But
so she obviously feels like she's been fouled from the corner.
Is her nose bleeding?
She's certainly giving the impression that it is.
Just speaking and doesn't want us to see it.
And she's going to get a yellow card for her reaction after it. So
let's see, off play. There's nothing for me in it.
It's certainly a coming together of bodies, and she recovered beautifully.
Still can't see anything. I think she's asking for something to be called on Hayley Crawford.
Yeah, she's going to require some attention here. What is astonishing is that regardless of whether or not she was fouled, she certainly was hurt in that play. To get up, see through as many defenders as was there and get that tap over the way she did.
Let's see the replay again. So it's Tori Huster. I think she's possibly received an elbow there.
Elbow to the face, it looks like.
Yeah, like a
but nothing in it. Huster's
maybe
looking at the ball, and
it's
I'd like
hard
to see after that where...
It's hard to mount an argument as deliberate, but certainly Barbieri feels like there was a foul that should have been picked up by the officials. It's taken us 4 looks to pick it up, so the officials could probably be excused. Not sure whether Barbieri's excusing them, but...
Well, she looked extremely displeased with Crawford, which was strange.
That tap over was special, though. That came hard and through heavy traffic, and she saw it and tapped it.
Well, what about the shot from Amber Nielsen? Absolutely gorgeous.
True
and then
enough.
The tap over was excellent. Oh, I hit it sweetly and really excellent from all angles. Hopefully that we get to roll here and see.
Here's a corner again. Pedersen is first to it in defence. More through heavy traffic. And in behind, it's 2-on-2 at the back. Is this where the Reds get something back? There's a foul. Moore went down hard then too.
That was a tough call. I thought that she'd won the ball there, Copus Brown. Really did well to keep up with Christy Moore, who was off. A hand on a shoulder will do it.
It's about 20 years difference between those two players.
Well, she hasn't lost any of her speed.
There's precisely 20 years difference, in fact. Here's the ball delivered, hangs up in the air. Crawford with a wonderful defensive header. Well, they certainly haven't given up. 4-0 up with 90 seconds to play, because here goes Van Egmond. Got Andrews right and Wheeler left. And it didn't quite pick out either of them. Barbieri brings it under control, tries to release Yanella down the right. Not a lot to hit. She goes route 1. Condon controls well, turns around a defender onto the left foot. Oh, how did that miss? Another sizzling strike. Colo was beaten and it just hummed over the bar.
Oh, I so wanted that to go in. Her touches on the ball here. She brought it back on her left foot and hit it sweetly. It just didn't dip enough. That was excellent work. She's inside on her right, back on her left, and then had the shot. Had Christy Moore out on her left. Beautiful shot there. Oh, you just wanted it to go in so bad.
Adelaide need to burn some incense to the football gods this week, because I have not smiled upon them this afternoon. There's a free kick going the way of the Newcastle Jets. There'll be a bit of time added on, I fancy, here. There's fewer than 30 seconds remaining of regulation time.
Yeah, you're absolutely right. There's 4 minutes still to come.
Thank you very much, Steph. All over it over there, Wheeler. 2, little nutmeg there. Won't bear any fruit, though. If I can mix my nutmeg and fruit metaphors. Getting a word that it's 10-1 to Perth. Astonishing number in the 86th minute. Andrews taken down.
It's not good for the Wanderers.
So there is the confirmation of the 4 minutes. And this is a quite wonderful set play opportunity here.
Oh, just in the back there from McCormack.
There's a lot of options here for Van Egmond. She has a breeze that will take it to the far post and perhaps allow it to dip. She's got options there.
I think she'd fancy her chances from this angle.
Yeah, it's a 3-person wall. She has got Huster central if she wants to try her luck. Andrews will make the run to the far post. That's where she goes. Andrews puts it over the bar. well worked and well delivered by Van Egmond. Nice work from Andrews as well. She just couldn't finish.
Yeah, great run in from Tara Andrews. Really attacked the ball here. Great ball in, nice firm, low ball, and just a little bit behind her where she couldn't get keep it down.
Yeah, there's another run down the right. Copus Brown. I really feel like there's been a message go to the Jets in the second half to try and get some quality to Andrews. They feel like she's the one who needs to get some looks who hasn't. And Van Egmond certainly gave her a look there.
They did, but that look was, provided through a silly free kick outside the box, and you're really asking for trouble. And I think that typifies their game today. They really made things harder and difficult for themselves, and especially in the final third, making things a lot harder than they should be. And
I don't envy Ross Aloisi this week, because he will be telling them the truth when he says there's a lot to like about this result, and they'll be seeing 4-0 on the scoreboard and how many opportunities got missed. Here's Alonso, forced to back away from goal. No real option. Oof. Dives in hard. It ends well for all concerned. And Reynolds will clean up.
So yeah, on that, even though Newcastle have been they've been excellent.
Yanella's hurt herself here. Sorry, Walshy. She just slid to put that ball over the sideline. I thought for a moment it was a hammy, but she's up and sort of grimace smiling. So, sorry, make your point. Here is a ball that Andrews won't get to. Yanella's obviously recovered sufficiently. Oh no, there is a problem there. Look, might just be cramp again, but
we'll see how she goes down here.
See that? Just grabbed at that hammy. Hard to say, really, but she's in some discomfort. Throw into the box. They're looking for Andrews again. She's the new target. It's rock and roll wrestling over there at the moment. Ball over the sideline.
Yeah, so back to my point, Adelaide, I think this is probably not, we haven't seen the best of them today.
No.
From what I heard, how they played against Canberra in that 1-0 loss. They played very well, and against Sydney in their 2-0 loss. So they've come up against really good sides and just lost, but I think we're not really getting a true reflection of where this team is at the moment today.
And by contrast, I think that was what the Newcastle Jets thought about their last 2 weeks as well, that they had not delivered the best version of themselves. Well, this has been a pretty good version of them this afternoon.
Oh, they've been excellent to watch, and especially Dobson, who we've called her name many a times. It's just really good to see that she's adding variety to a game. And Tara Andrews, she's been a little bit quiet for me, but she's been working off the ball, which has provided that space for Dobson.
Here is perhaps one final opportunity for the Reds, and Colo saves at the near post. Again, the cutback was on for Alonso. Instead, the near post option was taken, and there will be a cheer across the Hunter region this afternoon because their football team is back. The Newcastle Jets with a highly impressive 4-0 victory away from home over Adelaide United.
Yeah, Adelaide, they'd be so disappointed with this. They are missing Alex Chidiac, who's over, as we mentioned earlier, the Under-16 AFC Championships, and it's disappointing for them. They really didn't come out and probably execute the game plan that Ross would have liked, but the possession blew out in the second half, as you see, 40-60, but balls in the penalty area, that's what really hurt them and really made, better use of their opportunities in the final third, and Adelaide need to be better there, and we've been speaking about it for a long time now. They have to be better in that area, and the decision-making in that final third needs to be better.
Yes, well, those stats really began to add up for the Newcastle Jets and take their toll for Adelaide United. When you think of what happened the last time the Jets were here, they were damaged 3-1, and it was considered one of the low points of the season. This is quite the stunning turnaround. And let's go down to Stephanie Brandt, who I believe has the Westfield Player of the Match.
And it's no surprise, Aaron, that the Westfield Player of the Match is Riley Dobson. Riley, congratulations. What an outstanding performance it looked like. You came ready to play today. What was in your breakfast?
Bacon and eggs.
That must be it. No, but a really good feeling after today. Just looked like everything clicked. Is that how it felt?
It did. The girls have come together. We basically said we wanted to come out with this game fighting and actually gel together this week, and it was a brilliant game.
Now, how about your own goals? How did they feel? Because 2 goals in 30 minutes and a really sweet second finish.
I can't really remember the first one because I was on the ground. The second one, I was just thrilled. Like, it all happened so quickly, but I'm just ecstatic about it all.
Well, you like it for your highlights reel, I can assure you. And how about Newcastle as a whole new different confidence about this side, and it's a really different look to last season.
It's a very different look, but it's a great look, and the girls are great. They just performed brilliantly today. I'm so proud of them. Lost for words, I am.
Well, we'll let you go and celebrate. Thanks for your time and congratulations on your performance.
Thanks for that, guys.
Riley Dobson there with Stephanie Brantz. And this is the renaissance of the Women Jets. A great start in the 22nd minute. And then here is that player of the match, Dobson, setting it up for Van Egmont's classy finish there. And the second half, well, it was a perfectly awful start. Dobson got in behind. This time she was good enough, despite being in terrible position, to finish off. Look at this. She looks gone for all money and somehow beats the great Barbieri. And then this one is just special. A volley with the right foot through heavy traffic. And look at that smile. It's a smile that's featured all afternoon, Walshy.
Absolutely deserving of player of the match. She was excellent today, and I could watch her all day, and it'd be great to see her form over the course of this season.
Let's go back to Stephanie Brantz on the sideline.
Yeah, I'm with one of Adelaide's rising star. In fact, Adelaide's rising star, full stop. She picked up that award on Friday night. Dylan Holmes, a disappointing result, but there's a lot to look forward to, would you say, for this Adelaide side?
Definitely. I think because we're such a young side, I think in the next few years and the next few games, we'll start getting sort of like unity together and playing better. And we've had some pretty good patches in the past 3 games, so just getting that on a more consistent basis, and I think we'll be doing all right.
Now, you were NTC Player of the Year, and one of your NTC teammates, Alex Chidiac, also on this side. There's a real feeling of bringing through youth and developing youth. Is that something that you feel?
Definitely. I mean, there are 7 of us that competed at the NTC Challenge, and we're all South Australian, so it's good to have that core group of young girls coming through in the next few years.
Now, Melbourne next week, that's a tough ask. What do you think the talk will be this week? How will you approach that?
I think just giving it our best shot. I mean, obviously Ross will give us tactics to implement, and so that's our job to implement those, and we'll see how it goes.
Sounds like a good plan, and we look forward to seeing you on our TV Match of the Day next weekend in Adelaide. Thanks.
Thank you.
And so here is how the W League looks after 4 rounds. There's some talking points there. So Canberra up 2-0 over Brisbane yesterday. Look at that score in Perth. Perth 10, Wanderers 1.
Oh, it's not good. But it also shows how dangerous Perth are going to be this season.
Let's go back to Steph, who was on the sideline.
Yeah, I've got Tori Hewster, one of the international stars for Newcastle. Congratulations on the win. That's a heck of a way to get your second 3 points, isn't it?
Yeah, definitely. It was a great team win. The atmosphere around the team this morning and even yesterday was really positive, and I think we came out here and we did exactly what we wanted to do, so I'm really happy.
The fact that you beat Melbourne Victory in the very opening game of the season, was that something that you thought kicked off your season, even though you got successive losses after that?
Yeah, I think it was a positive start, and I think for the girls that were with Newcastle last year, it wasn't so positive. So I think to get that win in the first round against the reigning champs is definitely something that we were very excited about, and it definitely jump-started us.
Well, 4-0 here today, 6 points on the table and ever climbing upwards. Tori, thanks for your time. Congratulations on the win.
No problem. Thanks so much.
Yes, let's take a quick look at that table, bearing in mind Sydney and Melbourne play tomorrow, and so this will change. Perth are now atop of the table, and look at that, 17 goals for after 4 rounds. But the big one for Newcastle, climbing right up there and into the mix with this result today. Steph.
Yeah, thank you very much. Aaron and Sarah up in commentary. What a match here today. Now, the sport isn't over for today because don't forget you can join us later on, or early tomorrow morning, should I say, because we'll have the bronze medal match between Australia and Turkey. That one's at 2:55 on ABC One. And then after that, we'll have the gold medal match, USA and Spain, two undefeated sides at the FIBA World Championships. Next Sunday, we're in Melbourne at Lakeside Stadium with a victory. We'll welcome Adelaide United. Can the Lady Reds bounce back? We will find out then. For now, though, the action's over here at Adelaide Shores. Thank you for your company. Get some sleep. We'll see you soon for the basketball. Bye-bye for now.